Hi, my name is Wilx, and this is episode 4 of Project Ozone 3. Well, today we're going to automate grains of infinity so we can get into some Ender IO. We're going to make some Metallurgic infusers to make some mech equipment in other episodes. But most of the episode is going to be spent on Agricraft. We're going to speed it up dramatically. We're even going to automate it. This will involve the analog crafter, which you probably haven't worked with before. All right. Did a couple of things off camera. I put in some chunk loaders. They're pretty easy to make. Show lasers. Basically, I'm on a 3x3 as it is, so that's fine. So basically doing 9 chunks. But one here and one in the next dimension. I made some grid power, so standard thing I've done in every series so far. Made a resonator, used a manual mill to make myself enough stone burnt to come down here. And then made some water mills. Each of these has flowing water on all 4 sides. Standard stuff I do in every other pack. Then, okay, that's it for most of the off-camera work. Let's get started. So I'm going to make some crushers. The reason I'm going with crushers rather than pulverizers or something is they can make dust. There's only a few machines that can automate dust. This is one of them. So long as you have a atomic reconstructor, you can make the crushers. The next one, probably the better one, but the next one up would be the Stoneworks factory, but you need pink slime to be able to make that, and we haven't done that yet. We haven't even made an automated mob farm yet. So we're going to make a couple of crushers. I also need to be able to make crushed obsidian or pulverized obsidian or something to make the hardened glass so I can do the upgrades on the thermal stuff. So now we got some double crushers, or a double crusher. We'll take our double crusher, we'll come over here, put it down there, and you can set it to auto split the items on or off. So in other words, if some comes in here, it splits it over here or not, or you could have 2 different things running, your choice. And these things are pretty quick and pretty good. Next up, we're going to Grains of Infinity. We're going to automate it. This is the igniter. What it's used for is normally when you ignite netherrack, it stays lit. The fire burns forever. But to get Grains of Infinity, you do it on bedrock, not netherrack. And the bedrock keeps going out. And you have to keep relighting it, relighting it, relighting it. So Random Things came up with the igniter, which is netherrack, cobblestone, and flint and steel. Cheap. Then we're going to use a Random Things item collector to pick up the Grains of Infinity. And this is just to get the quest for Grains of Infinity. It's sort of the quest before it. And we'll just hide that over there. Notice how much quieter that is now. So much better when it's quiet like that. All right, so we're going to, I guess we'll stick them in a drawer here. Slap that right there. We'll come up here. We'll put our igniter on top. And then toggle fire, ignite, and it keeps it ignited that way. And then we'll put that on there, so it'll grab any of them that drop and stick them in there. I'm not going to stick around for it to happen, but it's that easy to automate. And this is the one piece of bedrock that I got for my platform. There, one just popped. And we got a grain of infinity in there. That was handy that it popped that quick so you could see it. Next up, we're going to make wireless RF battery. Now you know why I made the grid power over there. Stone burnt, redstone, easy stuff. And they need wireless RF transmitters to go with it. So this can, between the two of them, they can transfer energy wirelessly across dimensions. So notice this is on output on that side of it. Boom. Now it's getting power, and it's draining for that 120 grid power that I had. All right. Next up, we talked about metallurgic infusers. We're going to make 3 of them. Why 3? Why not 1 of them? Well, with metallurgic infusers, even though they run on power, they also have what I'll refer to it as fuel. So you might put like coal into this slot, or diamond into this slot, or redstone into this slot, and then you put iron or whatever it is you need, and it turns it into some sort of a circuit or a plate or whatever. And that's how the metallurgic infuser works. So there's different types of fuel, and each time you make a machine, you might need all 3 different types. So you'd be making parts from each of those. I'd rather just stick a stack of coal in there than put white iron or whatever in it. Let's say I need 3 of them. I put 3 iron in, I get my 3 things. And it's much easier to keep track of your fuels that way. You don't have to count it out exactly each time. All right, on to the Agricraft stuff. So we're going to use analog crafters, dirt cheap. These are from Extra Utilities 2. Yes, I think the mechanical crafter is better than the analog crafter for most uses. The analog crafter is even a little bit buggy. So why am I showing you this when you'd be better off with, for instance, the RF tools one instead? So let's take a look at the crafter from RF tools. And that is the better solution, is this crafter. But it needs a machine frame, which needs stuff I don't have access to yet. Now, this stuff is not that far up the line. I'm probably going to race to it pretty quick. So you could wait and automate it once you get there. But I decided to go with Agricraft as quickly as possible because I think it's one of the best ways to get materials. So I can make these now. They're not gated. When we go up to something like Titan mode or Kappa mode, then it might be even more gated to get at any of the other crafters, and making this even more worthwhile. So learning it now might be a really good idea. Also, it's new and it's something I get to teach you. Also, it's no power, so you can start auto-crafting immediately. You don't have to wait till you have power or anything. Also, they do have uses where they could be a little better, but we'll cover that later when I set one up. I don't need those things there. Okay, let's go. Now, if you remember, I was at, what, about 40 FPS before? Maybe 30. I forget what I was. I should have looked just before I did. I'm at 33 now. Let's go back and take a look at what it was. I should have paid attention to it. So if you notice up in my top right-hand corner, I'm bouncing around 40, 45, in around sort of that range. Come here and I'm around a 30. Well, maybe a little higher than that. And look at how many of these sprinklers we have. And it didn't go down that badly. Now, I'm going to go into a lot of detail about the sprinklers, about the beginnings of setting up the Agricraft and stuff. But I want to get something started right away. So I'm going to sort of jump to the middle, and then we'll come back to the basics after that. I have this guy over here. Actually, let's get rid of this. And we will put down that. And now this is getting power from that. So I have had a bunch of these are tier 1s, but they're 10, 10, 10s. going here. At first, I thought I was only going to get a few of them. I had like a flat transfer node and a chest on the other side. And I thought, I'll just get a few of them and that'll give me enough to work with. Well, I had to upgrade it and put all these storage upgrades in there. I've got 65,000 of the things in there. And that's just from the tier 1s. I can just imagine what the tier 5s would be like. This poor little guy is just barely keeping up with it. Well, we've got all these sprinklers up here. But I want to deal with this stuff right away. I want to get it automated and show you what that's all about. And so give it some time for the automation to work. These analog crafters aren't that fast. So why did I want all this stuff? Well, let's come over here and we'll start with the infusion crystals. And we'll make one of those. So prosperity shards, those come from, you can get them from Saving Neverak, or even better from Endstone. And there's other places too. So we get that. Then we can take that, and if we put those around it, we get the next level up. Well, that'll take a little bit of time, and if you've got to do that like 5 different times, that's going to take a little bit to do it. So let's make the next level one. And then we can use that one with these to make that. Then we can make the next level like this. And then, no, we need the blues to do that. Okay. So we've got at least these done. Now, I know I'm going to need a bunch of these inferiums. So let's make ourselves 16 of them. Let's make 20 of them. And I'm going to put those away so they don't get in my way. There we go. So let's come over here and get started on our automation. Now the way we're going to do that is we're going to put down 4 of these crafters like that. Then we're going to take these and mark that to upper and close off the corners. And we'll put one of those in there. And oh, I need... actually, we need sticky and spread. Before I forget, I need some of that. And these go in there. So sticky and spread. Sticky means keep one in here all the time. Spread means if it all showing up here, start spreading it around to all 4 different spots. This is disabled, meaning nothing can go in there. This means that it's supposed to only be coming from the upper side of it. This is set to all sides can input it. Originally I had it set to south only. But for some reason, when I set it to south only and I logged out, these went away. It wouldn't connect to that side anymore. But when I left it at all accessible from all sides, it stayed. First bug averted. That way. There's another bug, but I'm going to have to show you it in action for you to understand what the hell I'm talking about. So let's do the rest of these. Sticky spread. Put one of those in there. Oh, we need to X these out. Make you an up. Sticky spread. Those out, up. And again, sticky spread. Oh, up, and X those out. Okay, so these are all configured on the inside. Then next up, what we're going to do, just to get that placed, we're going to take the rest of these, put them in there. So it's got 16 more of them in there. And then we're going to take some cable. And we'll set you to always active. You're an insert. You're an insert. You're an insert. Now, notice it's marked as up only. So only things from up should be able to go in there. We'll get back to that later. All right. So now I don't have any speed upgrades, so I put 4 different things on here. One's blue, one's brown, one's purple, and there's green underneath. So we're going to set this one here to insert on green. This one here, we're going to set it to brown, insert. This one here, we're going to set it to blue, insert. This one here, we're going to set it to purple, insert. And that will spread them out nicely. They're all getting stuff. They're all doing their thing. Okay, and they're all crafting their stuff up. So far, so good. So that's how we handle the first level of it. Well, the next level is going to be fed by all 4 of these. We're going to put it here. And we're going to put one of those in. Oh, sticky speed up and up. Whoops, those aren't X's. Those are alls. I made a mistake. Ah, damn. Actually, can it go in reverse? Yeah, it can. Should have done that. Right click to go in reverse. So that goes there like that. We can put a... We're going to need some flat transfers for this all round. I'm going to need to make more flat transfers. Control to drop that there. We'll put one of those on top. And let's go make at least 2 more of those. Oh, so we need some more of this stuff. One, 2 of those. So this, oh, that's what I did wrong. I didn't put these in first. There we go. And then when this guy's done, he's going to come over here to this one. And this one's going to get an orange one. And, oh, let's sticky spread. Up and X those. This isn't going to go through that very fast, so I don't even need to really worry about that part of it. Feeding extras in. And this lasts for 1,000 of them anyways. And we'll leave the next step for just now. Okay. So nothing there. You're all set, right? Ready to go? Yeah, you're all set. So you become an insert. always. Always. And you're getting your stuff and spewing it out to your heart's delight over here. And we need 4 of these. There we go. We got 4 of them. We'll come over here. And we need the next one up. Do we not have an orange? We don't have an orange. We don't have a green. Now we've got our blue. Now for the next phase, we're going to place it here, and then I'll move it over because I'm using a flat transfer node. And if I stick the foot there, it'll start doing things right away and annoying me no end. So we're going to set you to up, X these out, sticky and spread, put that in the center. I don't know if I have to mark these or not, but we will. There we go, and we'll use a cardboard box to move it. Just hit it to break it. Place it, shift right click, off it comes, and it kept all its settings. And it's making its stuff. So then we can put down one of these. I could put in some more of these, but this is high enough. I don't mind doing the last couple of steps on my own. So, and if I'm working down from it, I'd rather work with premium to start. It's at a high enough level that I'm happy with that. Okay, now, are you guys, have any of these worn out yet? Yeah, at least one has gone over correctly. Cool, that's working. It's not showing the bug. We'll see if that keeps up. All right. Let's get on to the beginning of Agricraft and how you work with that. So the first thing I did was I created one of these inferium crops. And that, I took a wheat seed. What is use? Whoops. Use. And there, this. I took a wheat seed and made an inferium tier 1. So I made one. I only had about 8 of these from the mob farm. And then I made that, and I put it down over here on just a regular crop. Like I put one crop in, placed it on top. What I mean by one crop in. We'll just show you over here. Just put one like that and drop the seed in it. Then after that, I did them all as cross crops. So right-clicking twice, or you can do it as a, hold on. Or you can do it as a shift right click, but you create a stone when you do that because we're on garden of glass. The stones bother me no end when it does that, so I didn't do that much. So I put one of them down here, then I put cross crops all the way up here. And it would increase by the end to 10, 10, 10. Starts out as 1, 1, 1 and increases to 10, 10, 10. That's different than it is in most packs. In other words, in Project Ozone 2, we were using the sort of cross formation and moving them around like that. I haven't seen this method since back at Regrowth was the last time I saw it, where it could work off of a single parent. Normally you need 2 parents to have it increase in level. Does that make this overpowered? No. That makes it less grindy, less of that manual bullshit labor. Same reason you put in something like or excavator. Less of the manual bullshit labor, but you still have all the hurdles to cross. So yes, I think this is a good thing. I think it should stay in for all levels, not just like normal, Titan, and Kappa. He should keep the crops like this. It just gets rid of the grind. All right. So with these sprinklers up here, it worked really, really fast. I tried a bunch of different things. I tried the greenhouse glass. It caused no lag at all, whereas the sprinklers caused a little bit of lag. And I tried worms, but they didn't seem to affect how fast the crops spread at all. The sprinklers did. They did affect how fast the crops grow, but not by very much. It almost wasn't noticeable. With overlapping sprinklers, look at these things go. They're really fast. I'm quite happy with the speed on that. This thing can barely keep up. So how much lag are these things creating? Well, let's take a look at that. Let's get rid of this. Oh, figures. What mod was it that added the fact that if I hold it, it would fly way off in the distance, and that mod's gone, whatever it was. I kind of thought that was fun. Anyways, that little platform off in the distance there, that is to see if mobs would spawn at all. It's 24 away, completely dark. No mobs are spawning in this dimension whatsoever. So let's see how much lag we're creating here. We'll bring up lag goggles. I had to put it back in the pack. He pulled it out. FPS. And I got to hold still for 30 seconds. Now notice that the sprinklers here aren't turning. There's no particles. I have it set to full particles right now. Normally I turn down my particles. I'm on full particles right now, and they produce nothing. There is no animation to the sprinklers whatsoever, making them much more useful. Doesn't kill your game putting them in place. Okay, so these are ticking off a 20, a 10, a 13. 13's about average usually. But even these things sitting here doing nothing are putting off that much. This sitting here doing nothing's putting off that much. All these things over here, similar sort. Strangely, that's kind of high, eh? But none of them in dangerous level. They're all in white. There's nothing in red. But notice it is both the wooden piece that it's the wooden channel and the sprinkler that does it. But none of them are particularly bad. Okay, that's enough of taking a look at that stuff. We'll hide it again. So I don't know that I need to upgrade to anything better. Like, for instance, if I were to use lily pads of fertility, I don't know that they would do much better for me. I'm going about as fast as I want to go. Maybe a time block might be better, less lag, I guess. But that's about it. I can't think of anything that would be a real upgrade, even though there are other things in here that speed stuff up. Oh, getting back to this, if you want it to be overpowered, and it's a config change that you can make it so that you hit a cross crop with bone meal and it insta-mutates. That would be cheaty and too easy, I think. But it is an option if you can't be bothered to set something like this up. And then after I set up that one, I went and did rows for all of these. Even when I had worms down, I still put the water in place to reduce lag. Where if you rely on worms to fertilize your dirt, or moisten your dirt, it will cause lag as they come in and out. And I've got some sugar cane, well, here, let's go to the other end. And, just so that you can get a look at it, we'll bring you up here. So, why is... Why was that turned off? I didn't turn that off. Okay, we're going to have to do a new lag test. I didn't turn that off. Why? Let's try that one more time. I don't think it's going to make any difference, but if they weren't being fed water, it could have. But you saw those go over there going full tilt. That wasn't turned off over on that side, that's for sure. And it's still all the same. Made no difference. Okay. I don't know what was up with that. All right, so here. These crops here, I did them as 25s. It took 26 before I got a 10-10-10 on this. I got 10-10-10s here with the wheat. That's at like 21 or something. This is at 17, I think, for the cotton. Took exactly 25 for the flax. The hemp took 28. The sugarcane took 25. And that could be random, or different crops take different lengths of time. Probably more likely random. So you need to be as much as 30 if you wanted to guarantee you made it 10-10-10, but most of them will get it done in about 25. All right. So what we're going to do first is we are going to keep our 10-10-10s. And I'll put all the 10-10-10s in a storage for later, because I don't really need any of these right now, but I might need them later for other things. Okay, so let's go put that away. Now all my 10-10-10s are going to go over here. So they're 10-10-10. Those are not. They gave me a few extra when I broke it. That's why. 10-10-10. Yeah, and we'll keep those for later. These ones here are just trash. Let's put some of this stuff in here that I don't need. And produce goes up here. Whoops, that's not produce. Oh, this is my sugar cane. Yeah, there should be 6 of them. That's right. Okay. And then these other crops here are, oh, more produce. And I don't need, I'm not using those at all today. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that anymore. Okay. Now, so how do I know that they were 10-10-10? Let's take an example of one that I haven't checked. We bring it over here, and we don't know what that is. We put it in here. And it shows it is a 597. So what had happened is I had gone up here, and I'll show you how the magnifying glass works. You shift right click, and it shows that this was a 9-10-10-10. So I had broken this crop, gone over, put it in there, tested it, go, oh, that wasn't good enough. Came back over, replanted it for you, just so that I could show you my lengths and stuff on these things, and did it that way. But that's how you test. And all these are going to be trash. Don't need any of those. So in this case, the produce is this stuff, so it can go in there. The crafting drawer. The rest of that stuff is all trash, so trash can. Yeah, all that's trash, right? Yeah. And then we'll come over here and we'll do the same thing with the wheat. And I'm doing this for a purpose. I'm not just wasting your time with maintenance. And we'll dump our wheat in there. And then these are going to be my junk seeds. I'll use them to create other seeds. Okay, so why did I want to get all this set up over here? Well, now that we've got some premium, let's grab it. Oh, something I want to check. Now, see what happened here? This is the problem. It's supposed to only take it from the upper, and it took it from the south side. And that is a pain in the butt. So what happens is if I log out, this would disconnect if I set that to south. But when I set it to all, it doesn't disconnect when I log out. So that's why I kept that way. The upper seems to work in reverse. What I have to do now is I'm going to log out and back in and give this another try and watch what happens. So save and quit the title. If this takes a long time, I'm going to cut away. And this is just a workaround for that problem. I'm going to report it as a bug on their website, but I really needed to understand what it was, and this is about my 5th try of trying to troubleshoot it and figure out what was causing it and how it worked and how to get around it. I tried all sorts of things, auto feeds, all sorts of different things. So now if we come along here and I pull this out, it's working. What do you know? Come along here, pull it out. That's it. Come on. He needs one. Come on. Oh, you are set to... That's what's wrong. There we go. I don't know how that... I'm sure I changed that. Oh, well. So now they're doing their thing correctly. All right. So what are we doing with these guys? Let's say we wanted to make something like a diamond seed. Then we can make all our sieves diamond sieves and not worry about it. So to do that, we need a tier 5 crafting seed and some of this stuff. So tier 5, we need to make a base crafting seed first. To do that, we are going to need a seed. A wheat seed specifically, I think. I don't know if any other seeds work in that. So we'll make one of those. If we hit use on this, wrong key. There we go, use. Do use on that. We'll do that one. Use on that. But we don't have enough of that stuff. So that is a step down from this, right? Yeah. So use on that. Gets us the next one. That got us our tier 5 crafting seed. So then for our diamond, oh, diamonds are still hiding in my backpack here. And we got our diamond seed. So we come over here, put one of those there, put our diamond in place. Yes, I know I could do a shift click, but I hate the stones. I don't know why I hate that part so much. It's easy enough to run around and collect them. They just annoy me every time I see one drop. Okay, so that's 25 of them. And they're going to do their thing. So this guy's only a 111. Why are you not growing faster than that? Why is the water... I don't get it. I never want to shut you off again. So, goodbye. Oh. Well, that doesn't work. Where'd I hide them? There they are. Wooden irrigation channels. No more of these things. I don't know what's going on there. Now they're getting fluid, and there's nothing to stop them. Yeah, it grew up. And it should grow up like that fast when I've got all those going. All right, that's doing its thing. What else? So, what other things could we use this for? For instance, we could use it to do titanium. That way we could do lots of solars. Like, for instance, let's show you what I'm talking about here. We've got, let's say we wanted to do tier 6 solars. You need titanium panels. The rest of the stuff is, like, the base is pretty easy. This stuff's pretty easy so long as you got titanium dust. So we need lots and lots of titanium. But other than that, these things are pretty damn easy. Like, if we go down each of the levels, it's more and more titanium all the way. They take a lot of titanium, but other than that, they're fairly easy to do. So we could use those for power. We've already got our second one in there. Another thing we could do is we could use it to make cobalt. For instance, modular machinery. Am I looking at the right thing? I don't know. We'll just look at anything here. No, that was probably a bad example of something. Yeah, so see, it needs cobalt. And we need lots of cobalt. We've got to make lots of this malarium. Because these machines, like if you take a look at one of these, let's say we take a look at their super reactor, there's a few of those blocks involved. You need an awful lot of cobalt. So if you want something like an overpowered, I wonder, I don't see it here. Anyways, this puts out like 16 billion or something energy. So if you want the overpowered stuff, it's in the modular machinery. If you want the best way to do your sieving, it's this guy here, your auto sieve. Use. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what that was. Okay. And we got a few different things that we can do here. I seem to remember more of them. Wasn't there? There was something else I want. Anyways, these are your overpowered machines. Cazador Sniper had to make each one of them. It just gives him a basic ability to do it with the mod, but then he had to design them. And if he's going to design his own, that's why we're not seeing overpowered mech generators and things. All the overpowered stuff is in the modular machinery that he designed himself. All right, what else did I want to cover off here? Oh, other uses for these things, where they might come in handy. Notice that it's by slot specific. Let's say you were doing something like Britannia, and you wanted to make dies from the petals. And you wanted to make a whole bunch of different dies. I remember I had to do this once when I was making epic bacon, basically rainbow bacon, where you had pork surrounded by all different dies. And when you did that, you would have to have made a recipe in an Autocrafter for each of the different colored dies. But if it's slot specific and not recipe specific, then you could put your mortar and pestle in with your petal, and you could have a whole crate full of all different colored petals and then make them all into dies. So there's some advantages to the way this works anyways, even if you had back the Mechanical Crafter or the RF Tools or whatever. All right, so these are coming on. They come along slowly at first, and then about here, that starts going pretty quickly. But that's how you do it, and I'm going to make it for all the different things I talked about. Oh, as well as there are some interesting ones too for essences. Nature essence. Use. You can make grass. You can make mycelium. You can make vines. You can make... where was the thing that I was interested in? Yeah, you can make lily pads for your lily pads of fertility if you want to make them. If you don't have any mushrooms, you can go ahead and make mushrooms. If you need a different type of sapling, or you need netherwort, chloris fruit. Mind you, to get the chloris fruit, you got to have end essence. To get to end essence, you need the end seeds. To get the end seeds, you need to already have the chloris fruit. But there's a lot of other interesting things in here. For instance, there's one to make endstone. There's one to make, well, actually, that was the one to make endstone, I think. This guy here. One of the things you can make with this is endstone. There's another one that can make your netherrack or whatever you want. You can get all sorts of different materials this way, which might be the easiest way to get them. Yeah, last time we looked there was 2, now there's 4. Well, I think that pretty much covers it for this episode. I hope you've learned something new. Go out there and have some fun. Thanks.